I click start and
Yep, there it is.
all right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the July 16th edition of the Jitsi call. Welcome to a new world, a world that now has France as a second-time world champion in football, because this is football, um, and a world where we have new updates. Let's get started. Brian, why don't you talk a little bit about progress on layer drops and where we decided to leave the situation?
Sure. So a few weeks back, we added a kind of beta feature to smartly drop higher encoding layers if they weren't being viewed by anyone else on the call. So rather than having to send and encode all three streams, you could just send one, which was a lot easier on the CPU. We had an issue where once somebody wanted to see you on the main stage, it took too long for the bitrate to ramp back up. So I was playing around with some ways to try and speed that up, and didn't find anything we were particularly happy with there for me. But the good news is that in M69, there's some RTP sender controls coming in Chrome to control the bit rates for the simulcast layers that works really well. So we'll be planning on bringing this back once 69 hits stable, and that way we can get nice layer suspension, easy CPU, and quick ramp up of the bit rate once you're selected again.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Lubusu and Pavel, would you guys like to give us an update from Mobile Land?
Yeah, so in the past 2 weeks, we added new features.
Anywhere.
The first one was we reported a feature from web which shows the thumbnail of the participant who is in the large video. We also show the video in the thumbnail now. We also added live streaming. At the moment, it only can be started with a token and not with a username and password from Google. That's planned to come afterwards, probably not this week, but next week, because we have some technical issues there with our build system. Otherwise, we also focused on uh, improving, refactoring, fixing bugs. And as far as I'm aware, we plan to continue with stabilizing the mobile app in the next weeks, including probably the first thing we're going to tackle is moving to fixing multiple performance issue causes. So, Pavel, do you want to add something?
No, not really.
Okay, Mio, I guess that's all from us.
So you're also good? Nothing to add? I think so, Mike.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm listening, but that pretty much sums it up. Yeah,
Okay.
we paid some technical debt,
Great.
so that's good.
All right. We have currently ongoing experimentation on adding a new layout. That may or may not happen. Likely will happen. Lenny, would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Right now we're trying to get what I refer to, I think most people refer to as Brady Bunch mode, which is essentially taking the film strip and turning it from one axis to two. I don't know if I said that right. Basically tiled thumbnails. We have some prototypes that we're working with, and we're looking to have something demoable to a meal, so demoable internally by the end of this week.
Great, thank you very much. Boris, an update on multi-bridge sport?
So we have the feature that allows a bridge to connect as an XMPP client instead of an XMPP component, advertise its presence in a MOOC the same way as Gigassi and Jibri do, and use this completely replaces the component implementation. It's now merging master, and we'll be testing it on Jitsi probably with the next update. I think that's pretty much it. We've had a little fixes here and there. We fixed one crashing or something that would eventually lead to a leak in file descriptors in ICE4J. I think that's about it.
I would like to just complete what you just said by adding that this is our first step on the way to allowing cross-continental support for bridges, meshed bridges, so that everyone connecting from around the world would be able to connect to a bridge near them and hopefully get better RTT and better performance. So what Boris just described is one of the final steps before we're able to get to that new place.
Yep.
All right. George, do you want to share anything?
Yeah, not that much stuff, but we have been running an experiment where we ignore packet loss if the send bitrate is below 1 megabit. So this is with respect to our bandwidth estimations. And last week I fetched the results, and I analyzed just a couple of data, because the experiment is running since our last release. So it's the data that we have is for 2 or 3 days. So it looks like we haven't, the experiment doesn't deteriorate the outbound streams. We don't know yet if it improves things, but it looks like at least it doesn't increase the losses or make the losses more prolonged, let's say. Yeah, so that's what we're doing now. We would like, I think, to confirm whether this results in higher bitrate, final bitrate that reaching the receiver. So we will be looking into this experiment a little bit more, I guess, this week.
Excellent. Thank you very much, George. Damien, anything you'd like to add? Also, Saul, I thought you wanted to talk about the Docker stuff.
Yeah, but I was waiting for everybody to go, and then we have a couple of things to share, that being one of them.
Okay, well, Damien, why don't you go then? Anything you'd like to share?
So I was working on a bug that we found where Firefox with start audio and mute it was not working. So there was a signaling part that we added to make it work, and then we hit 2 bugs. One is in JVB, which George will be looking at it at some point. This is for the video part, and for the audio, we found that it's a bug it's a regression in Firefox. There is a bug open. We reported to them, and they identified the commit that causes that, and we'll be fixing that soon. So I think I don't remember anything else that will be news for the community.
Excellent. Anyone else?
I have a quick GSOC update.
Let's do that.
So we had 4 students. One of them did not pass the second evaluation, so we had to drop the voting project. Everyone else is pretty much on schedule and passed their second evaluations. We have about a month left until the end of the program. And stay tuned for some news about the projects on our website. we'll post an update with everyone's status.
I wanted to give an update on our student, but do you want us to wait until the post, Boris?
No, I just wasn't really prepared to talk about it. If you are, go ahead.
Well, okay. I'll talk about ours. Our student was working on the desktop client for Jitsi Meet based on Electron, which has been lingering on GitHub for a little bit, and now it's a lot better. So it's a multi-tenant client, so you can select the deployment where you want to join the conference, and it will. It will default to Jitsi, but you can change this with the UI, and it will join your server, or you can paste the full URL like on mobile, and it will join that deployment. We currently have silently released the first alpha on GitHub. So there's a build you can grab for Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. We are pretty much ahead of schedule and adding new stuff like auto updates. And I already tested auto updates working on Linux, and Mac OS and Windows are coming as well. So I'm pretty confident that by the end of GSOC, we will have a final 1.0 release which self-updates on all three platforms. I'm really excited about it. So we are going to share a little bit more about this on some Medium. But if you hit the Jitsi Meet Electron repo on GitHub, you can already grab the binary releases from the releases tab. So that's my update.
And Docker?
Oh, and that. And we had a little internal discussion. We agreed to move some Docker files to the Jitsi organization. This is a project to deploy a Jitsi Meet infrastructure with all its components on separated containers that are linked together with user-defined networking with Docker Compose. The idea is that it works without needing to touch a billion settings, and I think it's close to that. So it's at a stage where we feel comfortable with sharing it. I'm going to move it to GitHub probably tonight and write a little thingy on the discourse about it. We have more plans for it, like integrating Let's Encrypt and making it work on Docker Swarm. It's not there yet, but it works with regular Compose, and with a single command, you can deploy Jitsi Meet infrastructure to a given server. So finally, that's happening.
Thank you very much. I believe that's everyone on our side. Any items for open mic? I'll give it 10 seconds.
I don't even see anyone that isn't us on this call.
Okay, well then for everyone on that will be watching the live stream later, thanks and see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye, everybody. Thanks.